Hey, I'm Aaron with Seattle Piano Company, and this is our 1994 Yamaha C5. The C5 is a favorite of mine here in the store. I have 4 others in right now, including this one just to my left, but this C5 is a little bit different, and what's different about it is the size. This is 7 foot in length. All the other C5s in here are 6'7". So why is this one bigger? I'm not sure exactly, but the best that I can tell is this is actually a Yamaha C6, but labeled a Yamaha C5. There may have been some redesign between the two models at some point in this era, and so they were just labeling the C6 as a C5. I don't know, but what I do know is this is a really nice 7-foot Yamaha Grand. We just got this piano from our partners in Hamamatsu, Japan, where it was extensively refurbished, and they did a really amazing job. First impressions of this piano, just walking up to it, it is beautiful cosmetically. Since this piano came from Japan, I don't really know what it was like before the refurbish, but I'm sure that there was at least normal wear and tear. And just going across a 7-foot cabinet and doing a 3-stage buffing is a huge deal. It takes all day, or multiple days really. So if there were ever any scratches on here, they've definitely been buffed out. If there were ever any like little dings, they've been poly-filled. I mean, this is a very seamless looking finish. And although there's no such thing as a perfect finish, even on brand new pianos, if there are imperfections on this, you really have to go looking for them. So again, cosmetically, this thing is beautiful, but it's received some pretty significant service on the inside too. Inside the piano, the strings look super shiny, and it's because they're brand new. The C5 was totally restrung. Aside from the new bass and treble wire, we also got brand new tuning pins, pin bushings, A-graphs, understring felt. I don't like to throw the word restoration around a whole lot unless everything has been replaced, but I think in every sense of the word, looking at the harp area, the belly of this piano, it's been totally restored. The action of the C5 is in really great shape, and we'll touch on that more here in a second, but another thing I wanted to remark on is with a longer grand piano like the 7-footer here, the key inside of the piano extends much further than it would be in a baby grand, for instance. And so if you kind of think of the key as a lever, the end of the lever, what its job is to lift the weight at the end, right? And so with these longer key sticks, we have all this room to work with to really dial this in to make it feel really nice, as to where with a baby grand, we have that same amount of weight to lift up, but with a shorter lever. Now, manufacturers kind of compensate by placing weights inside of the keys, and that does help, but it also compromises the performance. And with a longer key like this, it's a much better platform. You're really able to dial these in to play a lot nicer. Looking at these keys and this action, everything is in really good shape. One thing I get super picky about is the felt inside of the key that kind of goes on the other side of this pin right here and also in the front. Those are called the key bushings, and it's a wearable part. I mean, that felt wears down, and then you end up getting this excess slop inside of the key. These have been replaced. That's a really nice thing to do as far as maintenance, but it's also pretty time consuming. So it's nice they took the time to do that. It feels really nice. I mean, the slack that we have inside of the key here, I mean, feels factory. I mean, that feels really great. So that was done. The color of the wood in the keys and the keycaps is what it should be. It's never been exposed to a bunch of moisture or anything like that. That looks really great. And then looking at the action, I guess what's pretty important is the condition of the hammers. And looking at these hammers, you know, if a piano has been played within an inch of its life, you can tell pretty quickly by looking at the hammers. There's a lot of felt left on these. So when I'm looking at the side profile of the hammer, which is, you know, if I'm at someone's house looking at their piano to potentially purchase it, bring it into the store, I'm evaluating their hammers. I mean, this is what I look for. I want to see from the tip of the core right here to the end of the felt, how much meat we have left on there. And these look like maybe they've been shaped once, but I mean, there's a ton of material left here. I can tell it wasn't heavily played. These hammers are in really great shape. And then underneath the hammers, we can look at the whippings and the knuckles. The knuckles are another component that I get really picky about. And so the condition of the knuckles is also a pretty visual thing, but it's also kind of like a texture thing. If the piano's been played a bunch, the knuckles also get these grooves worn in them. These are very subtle, and the material that the knuckle has on it that we call buckskin, it'll harden over the years, and you can feel that at the key when you're trying to lift the hammer up. These are very soft, they're as they should be. Looking at the whippings, you know, all of this black stuff here, That's also kind of like a wearable part. And so like if you're looking at an action and all this stuff is worn off, I mean, it's been played quite a bit. These all look really great. The wood, again, is the right color. So condition-wise, this thing's awesome. There's some other tech things we could do by measuring resistance and things like that. And that is stuff that we do in the shop, but it's a little boring for this video. But anyway, the condition of this action, I'd say A+ for sure. All right, so that's the summary on the Yamaha C5. This is a gem of a piano. I really love this thing. This is one of my favorites in here right now. We'll have Lennon play a demo here in a second so you can get a sense of how it sounds. If you have any questions about this piano, feel free to reach out. All of my details will be in the description of the video, as well as a link to all of our other inventory. Maybe we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot for watching.